College Training Journal Day 240, Section 7, 64 Attacks. Have you ever been pleasantly surprised by a situation, thinking it was going to be way harder than it was, and then once you actually got into it, you realized it was way easier than what you had built yourself up for? This is exactly what my experience was today, learning Section 7 of the 64 Attacks. I had built myself up to prepare for adding these last two really difficult sections, telling myself that I really needed to make sure that I was prepared to add them on to the end of what I already knew. And what I found was that Section 7 was one of the easier and easiest sections out of all of the 64 attacks sections, especially up to the ones that I had already learned. Now, the only exception to this is the tertia quarto, the 5 strikes, so angles 1 through 4 and the thrust. Something that I have also learned is that when I added Section 7, I actually started to forget the order of the other sections. And something that came to mind to help me remember this was make sure that I know each of their names. And if I know each of their names, I'll be able to help order them correctly. Now, this is my theory, thinking about it like my children, that knowing and understanding the oldest to the youngest child's names will help me remember the order and placement of each section in the 64 attacks. Now, this is just a theory right now, but after my practice tomorrow, adding Section 8, this is something that I'm going to be focusing more on. Section 8 feels very intimidating right now, but my belief about Section 8 is that it's going to be easier than what I think it's going to be. And once I know all 8 sections of the 64 attacks, I can practice the entirety of it each time I practice. And I feel like just doing this will help me moving forward. This was a great achievement for myself, seeing that I can do something and remember all of these details about something that feels complicated gives me a boost of confidence that it's easier than what I feel like it is. We often build ourselves up for these hard, difficult things that we think are coming, and then they either don't come at all, or they are easier than what we think they're going to be. This is a challenge in our mindset. This is something that if we can learn to master and overcome, believing that a situation or something hard is going to be easier than what we think it's going to be, can we trick our mind into believing and learning something in a way that helps us to embrace the challenge versus shun or set it aside? How often do we avoid doing something because of the fear of the unknown? I know I can certainly raise my hand over and over in answering this one. There have been many times throughout my life that I have put off or delayed learning or doing something because of the perception and belief that it was going to be hard, that it would be too hard, or that it wasn't something I wanted to deal with at that time. Now, this may be true in a lot of situations, but is it always true? No. And this was a perfect example for me from my practice today. I'm actually really looking forward to my practice tomorrow to add Section 8. I believe that Section 8 might be one of the most difficult. However, after my experience today and learning Section 7, I'm questioning that belief system. I'm questioning my mindset. Is this acceptable? Is it okay to question our mindset and our beliefs? Absolutely, 100%. Is it okay to validate the way that you feel about it at the same time you're questioning whether or not it's true and real? Yes, 100%. This helps us to learn and grow. It builds our self-awareness, and it helps push us to the next level. Awareness is everything. And without being aware of how you're thinking and feeling, it's hard to move forward and grow to the next level. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share. It helps me to know that what I'm creating for you is something that you enjoy. If you're feeling stuck, or like you need a little help with mindset, or just simply moving to the next level, go ahead and drop me a clarity comment below, and let's talk.